This story is called The Wood of the Butterflies. The path into the wood is old. It has been a path for longer than anyone could say, worn into the land by centuries of feet, sunk slightly below the level of the ground on either side, its edges softened by moss and the deep leaf litter of uncountable autumns. It enters the wood between two oaks whose branches meet overhead, and passing beneath them feels in a quiet way like passing through a doorway. The light changes, the air changes, the sound of the open fields behind falls away, and the wood begins. It is late morning in early summer, and the wood is full of light. It is not direct light mostly. The canopy above is in full leaf, oak and beech and ash, their crowns interlocking high overhead, and the sunlight comes down through it, filtered and broken, arriving on the woodland floor in shifting coins and pools that move as the leaves move, brightening and dimming with the breeze. Where a gap in the canopy allows it, a full shaft of sun comes through whole and stands in the green shade like a column, and the air inside it is visible, pollen and small drifting things, turning slowly, lit from the side. And through this light, everywhere, there are butterflies. You notice them gradually, and then all at once. At first it is a single one, a speckled wood, brown and cream dappled, patrolling a patch of sunlight beside the path, flying its looping circuits and returning always to the same leaf, where it settles with its wings open to the warmth. Then another, deeper in, a flicker of white among the dog's mercury. Then as the path bends and the wood opens slightly, you see that the air itself is moving with them, dozens of them, drifting and tumbling through the light at every depth of the scene, near and far, rising and settling, their flight paths wandering and overlapping in the way of things that have nowhere particular to be. The wood smells of green, of leaf litter warming, of the faint sweetness of bramble flowers, of the cool earthy breath that rises from the shaded ground and meets the warm air moving above it. You walk slowly. The path is soft underfoot. Generations of leaf fall compressed into something between soil and carpet, and your steps make almost no sound upon it. Bluebells were here a month ago. Their leaves remain, long and glossy and beginning to yellow, lying in drifts beneath the beeches, and here and there a late last flower stands among them, its blue deepened almost to violet in the shade. The great spring carpet has finished its work for the year. The wood has moved on into its summer self, tall, fuller, greener, the light coming down through more leaves and arriving softer. A red admiral crosses the path ahead of you, fast and certain, its dark wings flashing their bands of scarlet and white as it passes through a sunbeam, and then it is up and over a holly thicket and gone. Where it crossed, a slower butterfly drifts in the other direction, an orange tip, the male, his white wings dipped at their ends in that improbable orange, bobbing along the line of the path as though following a thread only he can see. He pauses at a cuckoo flower growing at the path's edge, considers it, and settles. His wings close. The undersides are mottled green and white, and the moment they close he is almost invisible, a leaf among leaves, a small folded secret. You stand still and watch him for a while. He is in no hurry. Neither are you. The path continues, bending gently between the trees, and you follow it. The wood here has the feel of a place that has been tended and then left. Coppiced hazel stands among the older trees, their many slender stems rising from broad ancient stools, cut and regrown so many times across the centuries that the stools themselves may be the oldest living things in the wood, older than the tallest oaks, persisting at ground level while their stems come and go like thoughts. Between the hazels, the light is dappled and busy. A small movement of air passes through, and all the leaves speak at once, softly, a long green whisper that travels away through the wood and fades. Somewhere above, a blackcap is singing, that rich, rambling warble that seems always about to resolve into a tune and never quite does, content instead to wander. Further off, a wood pigeon makes its low, settled call. 5 notes, repeated, unhurried as the wood itself. These are the only voices. The wood holds them easily, with room to spare. The path passes a fallen beech, down for some years now by the look of it, its bark gone silver grey, its great root plate standing on end like a wall, hung with ferns. The trunk lies along the woodland floor for 30 feet, mossed over, soft at the edges, becoming ground. In the clearing its fall created, the light comes down whole, and the brambles and foxgloves have risen into it, and the butterflies have gathered. This is their place, clearly. The clearing is perhaps 20 feet across, walled in green, floored with sunlit bramble and tall grasses, and the air over it is alive, a slow tumbling commerce of wings. Meadow browns, dusty and modest, bobbing low over the grassed heads. A comma, its ragged-edged wings rich tawny orange, sunning itself flat on the silvered trunk, so still it might be painted there. 2 large whites spiralling around each other upward through the centre of the clearing, climbing their double helix into the bright air, higher and higher, until they separate at the level of the canopy, drift apart and descend separately, as though nothing had occurred. And on the foxgloves at the clearing's edge, where the tall spires of pink-purple bells lean into the light, a silver-washed fritillary, large, the colour of marmalade, marked with bold dark dashes, moves from flower to flower with a kind of gliding swagger, its wing beats slow and shallow, riding the air more than working it. You find a place on the fallen trunk, a little way from the comma, and sit. The wood accepts this. Nothing startles. The comma remains where it is, wings flat to the sun. The fritillary continues its rounds. The meadow browns go on bobbing over the grass with their endless patient inefficiency, landing, feeding, lifting again. The trunk beneath you is warm where the sun has been on it, and the moss is dense and dry and gives slightly, like a cushion that the wood has been preparing for years. The sun is warm on your shoulders. The breeze, when it comes, is soft and smells of bramble flower, that faint honeyed sweetness, and it moves the foxgloves on their tall stems so that they sway together, slowly, and the fritillary riding one of them sways with it, unbothered, feeding all the while. A small copper arrives in the clearing, tiny, vivid, its four wings the colour of embers, and it takes up a perch on the grass head near your feet, where it turns to face the sun and holds itself at the precise angle that gathers the most warmth. It is no bigger than a thumbnail. It is perfect. The black borders of its wings are crisp as if drawn that morning. It sits in its small, fierce brightness among the green and is entirely sufficient. Time goes easily here. The shadows of the canopy edge move across the clearing floor at the pace of the morning itself, and the patches of sun migrate slowly, and the butterflies migrate with them, abandoning a cooling perch for a warming one, so that the whole clearing slowly rearranges itself around the light, without any visible decision being made. A wren sings briefly from somewhere inside the bramble, and astonishingly loud for so small a body, and stops, and the quiet that follows is rounder than the quiet before. You watch the air in the sunbeam at the clearing centre. Pollen, seed fluff, the smallest of flies, all of it drifting and turning, lit golden, sinking and rising on currents too gentle to feel. A white butterfly passes through the beam, and for a moment it is not white at all, but radiant, lit through its wings, the veins showing dark inside the glow. Then it passes out of the beam and is simply white again, and continues on its wandering way toward the foxgloves. There is an old story feeling to all of this. You are aware of it without needing to name it. The sunken path, the doorway oaks, the clearing walled in green where the butterflies gather. Woods like this are where the old tales set themselves, and sitting here it is easy to feel why. Not because anything is waiting to happen, but because the place itself feels deliberate, arranged, attended to, as though the moss were laid, the light placed, the butterflies set drifting by some unhurried hand that wanted only for it all to be exactly this. Nothing is asked of you. You are simply allowed to be in it. The comma on the trunk closes its wings. The undersides are dark, bark brown, marked with a single small white comma that gives it its name, a little punctuation mark, a pause, carried about on a wing. It sidles a few steps along the trunk into a fresher patch of sun and opens flat again. The fritillary has finished with the foxgloves and goes gliding off down a green corridor between the hazels, flashing through the bars of light and shade, and is gone. The clearing carries on without it. Two speckled woods have begun a spiralling dance at the shaded edge, round and round each other rising, and then it ends as suddenly as it began, and each returns to its own patch of light, as though the whole thing were a formality, long established, performed, and concluded. The warmth of the day has reached its full ease now. The wood hums, not loudly, but constantly, the layered hum of uncountable small wings, bees in the bramble flowers, hoverflies suspended in the sunbeams like held notes. Underneath it, the leaves keep up their soft, intermittent whisper, and underneath that, silence, the deep green silence of the wood itself, which all the sounds rest on and return to. You stay on the trunk a while longer. There is no reason to move, and so you do not. The small copper has shifted its perch twice, following the sun. The meadow browns continue their rounds. A single white feather, a pigeon's by its softness, comes down from the canopy in long, slow switchbacks, taking half a minute to fall, and lands on the moss beside the trunk and stays there, bright against the green. The breeze drops. The foxgloves go still. The clearing settles into one of those pauses that summer afternoons are made of. Everything briefly suspended. The leaves quiet. The light steady. The butterflies all, for a moment, perched and basking, wings open to the sun. A dozen small flames scattered through the green. The blackcap has stopped singing. The wood pigeon, somewhere far off, offers its 5 low notes once more, and lets them go. The sun stands in its column at the centre of the clearing, full of slow golden dust. The comma's wings are open on the silver trunk, motionless, warming. And the wood holds it all, the path and the clearing and the light and every small drifting wing, easily, completely, the way it has held its summers for 1,000 years, asking nothing, keeping everything, green and warm and still.